Hi, I'm Erin Clark. I'm a mom of three beautiful girls. Sienna's 13, Hayden is 11, and Isabella is 9. We're a homeschooling family. We began homeschooling when my husband and I planted Village Church in Surrey, British Columbia, and just found that our lives were all over the map. And we needed something just to ground us at home and really be able to focus on one another. Which began our homeschooling adventure. I remember when I first met with a homeschooling teacher, she said she could tell I was pretty overwhelmed with the prospect of everything. And she said, why don't you just start by reading a book? I'm sorry, I'm an early childhood educator. I do have some ability beyond reading a book to my children. And so I went off and I started a classroom setting in my house with my girls who were very young at the time. Sienna was just in grade 1, and then my others were younger. Bella was just a baby. And I started, I had a schedule. I planned curriculum every single night. I was busy. My poor husband, I was like, sorry, I'm planning my schedule, not available. And I hated it. To be quite honest, I loved being with my kids, but it was so overwhelming trying to figure out how to navigate it all. And so we ended up sending the kids back to school for a couple years. And then I really felt like we needed this grounding again, and we needed to homeschool, and my kids really wanted me to do it again. And so I thought, okay, if we're going to do this, we're doing it different this time. We're going to just learn together as a family. And so I don't tend to do a lot of pre-planning. We do a lot of the advice that the lady had mentioned to me years ago. We often start with a book. So we'll start with a book, and then my creative mind just is able to pick out stuff as we're reading and be like, oh my goodness, what about this? We're reading Helen Keller about her, and it'd be like, oh my goodness, let's stop. Everybody, let's pretend that we are deaf and blind. And I would set up things around the house that they would have to try to navigate through with being deaf and blind. And then we'd read a little bit more. And I was like, wait, okay, let's do. And so we stopped and I set up a whole, okay, there's things that might be food. They might be poison. I didn't actually do poison, so don't write me up on that one. It could be anything. It could be like Lego pieces. And we set up this thing and they had to navigate through, okay, what senses would I use first? Maybe I'm going to touch first. Then I'm going to smell. My last resort is I'm going to taste this just in case my mom actually did try to poison me, which again, for the record, never did. But they do like that element of it's a possibility. And so that's how my mind works. I get so excited by learning this way. And so I thought I would let you into my crazy mind and come on here and do somewhat lessons, so to speak. It'll always kind of look different. Sometimes we'll do a science experiment together. Sometimes we'll be going through a book, or my kids will come on and we'll do something together. I'll provide art opportunities. I'm really excited for this because we are in a time where many of us are distancing ourselves, social distancing from one another, and we're stuck in our homes for very good reason. And so because we're at home, we can either choose to lament about it, or we can choose to use this time and see it as a blessing. And I don't mean to take away from anything that's going on in this world, but use this time wisely. If you're at home, spend that time baking with your kids, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. A lot of people, when they look into our life, they're like, oh my goodness, I could not do what you do, because when we craft in our house, we craft. Like a project could take a week, and that week, the whole kitchen is just covered in stuff. And my friends sometimes come over and have I couldn't live like this, Erin. But guess what? You now have the opportunity, even if your personality is such that you're like, no, I need my house spotless at all times. No one's coming over. Yeah, we're literally at a time where your house could fall apart and it doesn't matter. You're not having a random person knocking on your door wanting to come for tea. So use this time. Let your kids explore. Let them paint. Let them bake and actually make errors and spill the flour all over, drop the egg. It's okay because nobody's there. And so I'm excited to be able to come on this journey with you. I hope that you'll join along with me and my family as we just try to use this time. We don't know how long we're going to be living like this. We don't know how long the kids are going to be out of school or whatever the circumstance might be. But let's use this time. Let's have fun with it. If you're at home and you're not ill right now, use this time as a gift. And so I'm excited. I'm super pumped for what's ahead. As you can tell, this is how excited I get when I get excited about something. I love learning with my kids. I absolutely love it. My approach isn't always as people would think. They're kind of like, huh, okay. But I assure you, your kids will have fun with it. And maybe in the process, you're going to learn like, hey, wait a second. This isn't as overwhelming as I imagine it to be. This is actually fun. Oh my goodness, I actually love learning with my kids. I can guarantee my IQ has gone up since homeschooling my kids and just being intentional with them. And so, if nothing else, maybe even you will grow and learn during this time. So thank you. I'm excited for this adventure ahead and excited to share our first video.